I was recently on a conference call with a young gentleman, and he was talking about when he started in Vemma, and it wasn't going quite as well as he wanted it to go. He was talking about how he looked around at other young people who were joining, and some were moving faster than he was. He mentioned that he thought he was working as hard. He thought that he had the same skills, and he was wondering why it wasn't working for him. So if that's you, I may just have the answer, because I experienced the same thing several times in my life, and I'm sure I'm going to experience it again. And hopefully my experience will help you. To make that point, I'm going to go back 35 years when I met my husband, Bob Proctor, in a seminar. I was, as you know, I was earning $25,000 a year, and a little over a year later, I was earning just under $500,000. But the thing that caused me to caused him to get my attention was when he asked me this question. Now here it is. He said, "Who do you go to for advice?" And I said, well, there's a group of us in the office who get together and we share notes and really work on how we're going to increase our income. His question, what do they earn? And I said, well, about the same thing as me. And he then quoted Carlyle, where he said he didn't believe in the collective wisdom of individual ignorance. None of us were earning any money, and we weren't going to figure it out. And so the difference for me wasn't just what I learned in the seminar, but obviously the mentoring that took place. Now let's fast forward a number of years. And Bob suggested that I should start my own financial services business. And I did. Now before I did that, I sort of analyzed my skills. I'd been in sales, I'd been in sales management. I'd watched Bob, sort of the consummate entrepreneur. And I thought, it doesn't look that difficult. I think I have the skills, and maybe you've done the same thing when you looked at Vemma, sort of analyzed the situation, said, I think I can do that. Well, a couple of months into the business, when I was over my head in financial responsibility and over my head with employee responsibility, I thought, I can't do this. And maybe you felt the same way again in Vemma. And Bob came to me and he said, you know, why are you so stressed out? And I told him, I don't think I can do this. I don't know that I know what to do. And he said, I won't do it for you, but I'll mentor you. Now, here's the thing. What I realized in that first situation was that I didn't think like a salesperson. I thought like an employee. I had been an employee prior to going into sales, and I drugged that sort of mentality into the sales position with me. And I was trying to do it like an employee rather than like a salesperson. And Bob taught me to think like a salesperson. In the next situation, he taught me to think like an entrepreneur. You have to not just do what the people are doing, you have to think what they're thinking. So when I looked at network marketing a number of years later, I wasn't going to make that same mistake. I realized that I needed to think like a network marketer. I needed to really understand not just what they were doing, but how they were thinking, the leaders that I looked up to. And so I actually found three mentors that I followed. And I'm going to tell you why, because you may want a number of mentors. I think Derek Alexander mentioned it yesterday, that he had a number of mentors. The first mentor was a great field leader. I wanted to know how he launched people. I wanted to know how he created momentum. I wanted to know why he scheduled events the way he did. I didn't want to just know I just didn't want to watch what he did and say, I'm going to duplicate it. I wanted to know the reason why. What was he trying to accomplish? My second mentor was a guy who was really good with numbers. I wanted to understand what numbers he watched and why did he watch them. And when things were trending up, what did he do? When they were trending down, what did he do? And when they flattened out, what did he do? And the third mentor was someone who was really good in training. He was able to take pretty complex training information and condense it into simple concepts so that people were trained very quickly. All three are important things, and so I really tried to pick out the best people I could find in the industry, really learn from them, not just what they were doing, but how they were thinking. So if you want to be all in, it's not just about the skill, it's about, do you think like the leaders are thinking? If you add that to what you're learning, you'll go all the way to the top and it'll be a smoother ride. So thank you.